Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. Listen, I am so glad that you're here because chances are you are a woman over 50 who wants to be active and strong. Well, today in this video, I'm going to share with you my 4 go-to tips that I follow to ensure that I remain active and strong in my 50s and beyond. These tips are realistic, they're reasonable, and they can be applied by anyone at any point in your fitness journey, whether you're just starting out or if you've been on your journey for a while. So let's get started. Here's my go-to tip. Number one, start your day with a high protein breakfast. Here's the thing, eating protein is so important for women over 50, yet many women over 50 don't eat enough protein daily. And eating protein is so important because it helps with muscle growth as well as bone health. Starting your day with a high protein breakfast will help lay that foundation for the day. I encourage you to think outside of the breakfast food box, right? You can eat anything that you want for breakfast. Now, certainly the traditional high protein foods will work for breakfast, such as your yogurts, eggs, milk, dairy products. But you can also think outside the box and eat other high protein foods such as chicken, any type of seafood, say shrimp, maybe even black beans, which are also high in protein as well as fiber. You can eat anything for breakfast because your stomach doesn't know whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner. However, your body does know if it's getting enough protein in order to build and repair muscle as well as take care of your bones. So, my recommendation is that for breakfast, start your day with about 30 grams of protein. All right, my go to tip number two is track your daily steps. That's right. Tracking your steps daily can be really helpful as a woman over 50 because it will keep you active as well as prevent you from becoming sedentary. Being sedentary, that can really sneak up on you. So tracking your steps is helpful. Now, when you track your steps, it's going to be very individualized. For some women over 50, they might aim for 5,000 steps each day. For other women over 50, it might be 7,000, and still other women, it can be 12,000. It is very individualized, but the goal is to start where you are. So, what you can do is to track your steps for about 5 to 7 days to see where you are on a regular basis. And then once you find out your average daily step count, you can set a goal to increase that by, say, 500 steps, maybe 1,000, depending again on where you currently are. So if you see that you're averaging around 4,000 steps, then set a step goal for 4,500 or 5,000 steps. Once you consistently reach that goal, you can absolutely increase that goal over time. But again, you need to aim for consistency and for something that's realistic, a step goal that's realistic for you. Now, how do you know how many steps you're taking every day? Well, I recommend you use some type of device or some type of app. You can use your Fitbit, or you can use your Apple Watch, or you can use your Oura Ring. You can even use an app like Strava. But again, the key here is to stay active. Even on non-workout days, stay active and make sure that you don't become sedentary. Ready for my go-to tip number three? Strength train 2 to 3 times per week. Now, strength training again is so important for women over 50 because strength training helps to build and maintain muscle as well as bone. You can start with your body weight and do exercises like body squats. You can do lunges with your body weight. You can do elevated push ups or wall push ups. You can do planks. These are all exercises that use your body weight as resistance. So establish a routine using your body weight about 2 times a week. And you can do anywhere from 1 to 3 sets of these exercises and anywhere from 6 to 10 reps. Once you are establishing a routine and you feel like you're getting stronger, you can add additional resistance. Resistance such as dumbbells or resistance bands. You can go to the gym and you can use machines. This is strength training that uses external resistance. And so this increase in the resistance will help continue to build muscle and to make sure that your bones in your body are healthy. Once you again establish a routine of going 2 times a week, you can absolutely choose to increase that to 3 times a week. But whether you strength train 2 days or 3 days, the key is to make sure that you're adding this into your regular routine. All right, my fourth and final go-to tip. Here it is. Do some form of cardio exercise 4 to 5 times a week. Now, before we get hung up on the 4 to 5 times a week, let's break this down a bit. First of all, cardio exercise is so important to women over 50. It strengthens both your cardiovascular system as well as your respiratory system. And it's important to note here that cardiovascular disease is the leading cause of death in women in the United States, according to the CDC. That's why cardio exercise is so important. And cardio exercise can look like a lot of different things. It can look like a walk, a moderate intensity walk. It could look like running or jogging. It can look like swimming. It can look like going to the gym and getting on a cardio machine. It can look like HIIT. It can look like jumping rope. There are so many options for cardio. And while it's recommended that adults get at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic activity each week or 75 minutes of vigorous activity each week, it's important to note that you should start where you are. Don't jump right into 150 minutes a week if you haven't been doing cardio exercise at all. It's important to start where you are, lay that foundation, build on it, and keep going. All right, everyone. Those are my 4 go-to tips that I include in my regular routine, and they help me remain strong and active as a woman over 50. And not only do they work for me, they can also work for you. All you need to do is start where you are. And if you need to, add them into your routine one at a time. And as you become consistent with that one, then you can add in another one. Here are those 4 go-to tips again. Number 1, start your day with a high protein breakfast. Number 2, make sure that you track your daily steps. Number 3, make sure that you strength train 2 to 3 times a week. And number 4, do some form of cardio exercise 4 to 5 days a week. Now, tell me, which tip or tips are you going to start with? Do me a favor, drop them in the comments below. And before you leave, make sure you like this video. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.